Psalm 139. Lord, you have searched me out and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You trace my journeys and my resting places, and are acquainted with all my ways. Indeed, there is not a word on my lips, but you, O Lord, know it altogether. You press upon me behind and before, and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is so high that I cannot attain to it. For you yourself created my inmost parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will thank you because I am marvelously made. Your works are wonderful, and I know it well. My body was not hidden from you while I was being made in secret and woven in the depths of the earth.
And now hear the gospel. Jesus said to go to Galilee. He found Philip and said to him, "Follow me." Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him about whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus, son of Joseph from Nazareth." Nathanael said to him, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" Philip said to him, "Come and see." When Jesus saw Nathanael coming towards him, he said of him, "Here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." Nathanael asked him, "Where did you get to know me?" Jesus answered, "I saw you under the fig tree before Philip called you." Nathanael replied, "Rabbi, you are God's own. You are the ruler of Israel." Jesus answered, "Do you believe because I told you that I saw you under a fig tree? You will see greater things than these." And he said to him, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the chosen one." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Can anything good come out of Nazareth? This sarcastic question is so loaded. I love the fact that Jesus comes from such a modest background. He's not a Levite. He has no official connection to the temple like the Pharisees and Sadducees. He's not royalty, and his father is just a carpenter, depending on the labor of his hands to make a living. Some believe the reason Nazareth is summarily dismissed in this passage is not because it's some horrible place of ill repute, but because it is so remarkably unremarkable. Nazareth is never mentioned in the Hebrew scriptures, not even once. Judah, yes. Jerusalem, yes. Bethlehem, yes. But not Nazareth. Nazareth, being extraordinarily ordinary, is the last place anyone would expect to find greatness. It makes me think a lot of the crossing. We started out small almost 15 years ago, and many simply saw us as an alternative worship service during the week. Not real church, not real worship, not a real congregation. It was said that we were part of a fad that would fade in time, and yet here we are, surviving transition upon transition and surviving COVID right now as we speak. I look around the Zoom squares on my screen and I am surrounded by greatness. Great souls with the courage to love deeply and fiercely despite the vulnerability such love requires. If I must endure a pandemic, at least I get to do so with all of you. Jesus is the ultimate example of something good being hidden in something not so good. So naturally, the question, can anything good come out of Nazareth, leads to personal questions of my own. Can anything good come out of COVID? Can anything good come from the disruption, the anxiety, and the loneliness this pandemic has caused me? Can anything good come out of this reemergence of depression that makes me want to stay in bed all day and watch Netflix and have chips and salsa for dinner again? Now, the former evangelical in me wants to say, yes, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And the pessimist in me wants to say, hell no. 2020 was a complete dumpster fire, and most of 2021 can go straight into the trash bin as well. But I'm struck by the invitation in tonight's gospel in response to Nathanael's reluctance to be open to the possibility of good news arising in the midst of a bad situation. Come and see. Come and see. Happiness is not required of me right now, or productivity, or optimism. Faith, trust, hope, God is not asking any of those things from me right now. The invitation is simply to show up, to come and be in community in whatever state I find myself in, and God will meet me there. In God, I have permission to not have to be strong for once. I can take a break. I can fall apart a little or a lot, and it will be okay. Come and see. That is all that God is asking of me right now. And so if you find yourself in a similar place, I offer you the same invitation. Come and see. There's no expectation for you to believe. No requirement for you to be cheerfully optimistic. If you are depressed, you can come and be depressed with us. If you are anxious, come and bring your anxiety with you. If you are mad as hell at God or the world, come and put your rage right next to mine. Because in Christ and in community, there is plenty of room for you and for me and all that we are and all that we hold at any given moment. I don't know if I will ever be able to look back upon this current crisis and see any good in it whatsoever. I am doubtful that I will look back and say that it made me stronger. But I know that I will continue to come and see. I will continue to come and be in community, and together we'll see.